Hey guys. All right, setting up 2 cameras here because I want to put this on YouTube. I want to make sure it actually works. Give people a few minutes. I actually can't see comments here. So I'm going to eat some date. And look at what I wanted to say. All right. While we wait for a few people to come on here. But I'm really happy you guys are here. Wait, this is not the note I wanted. Here we go. I took notes, guys. Make sure there was a few things I wanted to make sure I covered with you. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing good. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start talking about these things, about spirit. So, and if you guys have any questions, I'll be looking at those at the end of whatever it is I have to say right now. But let me start by saying, my name is Sarah Mitchell. I don't know, you know, I've often asked clients to describe, think of a title of what it is that I do, because I'm kind of, I'm a very powerful coach, rapid expert coach, rapid change. I don't know. Anyway, the point is that people have called me shamans. I definitely channel. I'm a medium. I do healings. I remove people's pains. In one session, I removed phobias. All of this work that I do has, the last 6 years has been with spirit, me actively using spirit, checking in with angels, the deceased, anybody who was of light and love that wanted to come through, I would work with in order to help my clients. But I wasn't really talking about it. In fact, this is the first time, this is the most public platform I have ever used in which to just talk openly about the fact that spirit is talking to me and telling me how to help my clients. And then I talk to them all day. They help me in every way of my life. So I wanted to kind of explain to you how I work, and then the second thing I wanted to explain to you was how they want to work with you and how you can access, begin to start to build a relationship with what I refer to as my spirit team. And I'll start by saying everybody has a spirit team. Everybody does. Even if you don't work with them, even if you don't even want to acknowledge them and it creeps you out. In fact, like, nobody has to know. And nobody has to care. The majority of my clients, I would say 80% of my clients don't even know I'm channeling because they're not coming to me for that. They just know that I get results and get them changed really fast. Anyway, but the point is, I just thought I'd give you, you know, how this happened, a little bit of history with me. I was talking with someone recently on Instagram, realized I had totally was wrong. She had asked me how long Spirit had been actively in my life. Spirit has been trying to get through to me, get me to acknowledge them my whole life, from my childhood. But I was too terrified. I was raised in a very fear-based Christian household. Not all Christianity is fear-based by any means, but mine was. And so the idea of talking to angels or spirits or the deceased was like, I seriously thought I was going to go to hell. So I didn't know anything about it, and I avoided it like the plague. So as time went on, though, it was obvious I was feeling other energies around me. Starting at about age 8, I knew that when I would say the Lord's Prayer at night, I would hide under my covers because I felt like Jesus was going to show up and I would be scared to death and die. So every single night I'd hide under the covers terrified. But I wanted to say that prayer because back then I believed that I had to say it, or if I died in the middle of the night, I would go to hell. So it was not happy. But that was the first experience I had where I felt energies entering my bedroom, but I didn't have anybody I could talk to about it with, because that just wasn't the type of family I was raised in. And then the next big thing I started to notice was when I got to college, my sophomore year in college, I started to feel and hear things, and it was creeping me out. It really scared me big time. And so, I called over my boyfriend, now husband at the time, and I would have to have him come spend time with me because my anxiety would go so high. I was so frightened by not understanding what I was feeling and sensing, and that went on and off for a while. Then I got mega religious, as if I wasn't religious enough, and I really shut all that out energetically. I wouldn't let any of that back in for 7 years. And then I got mad at God, and I shut the door on God altogether and didn't talk to him for 10 years, roughly. I'm kind of estimating these numbers. And it wasn't until I hit about 40, I'm 47 now, I think. I might be 48. I can't remember. And that my anxiety was so high that I thought, I've got to find something else. And I didn't know about medical medium, Anthony Williams, at all. And so what I did was I started to meditate. And I was working with a coach at the time that was helping me, and he had recommended a book by Louise Hay called You Can Heal Your Life. And I was working through that, and she turned me on to meditation through that book. And I got up to where I was meditating 2 hours a day, and it was not intentional. But anyway, so the meditation kind of turned into writing. I'm going somewhere with this, really. And what happened during the writing is eventually, all of a sudden, one night I realized, as I was meditating and doing this writing, I was in the middle of a conversation with someone, and it was my deceased grandmother, Grandma Julie. And she had been gone since the 90s. So this was just 6 years ago that this happened. And I was shocked, and I frightened, and went ahead and had the conversation anyway. And what happened was she ended up telling me things about her life and my mother's life with her, that there was no way I could have known them, because she was telling me things before I had been born. And so I finished that conversation and got it all validated by my mom that it was all true. And that was the beginning of me receiving messages from the other side. And I was scared for a long time. It was a year before I acknowledged it openly to anyone other than my husband. And even that, it was only one other trusted friend that I shared it with, and I certainly wasn't talking about it with anybody else. I was scared out of my wits. I didn't understand it, but I kept participating in it, understanding that there was going to be something good that came from it. So, and since then, it's different for everybody. We all have an intuitive ability to connect with the other side. This is not something that's unique, but it's going to show up in different ways for different people. Now, what you need to understand, for me in particular, because I was raised in such a fearful place about all this stuff, I honestly had not read any books at all, and I didn't want to. Even when I started channeling, my more relatives came through, and I was getting a lot more affirmation from my parents. Then all of a sudden, the deceased started showing up in my home. And before I knew it, I was having conversations with angels and the deceased, and everywhere I went, they would show up while I was driving in the car and scare me. was just a mess for a while. But what I'm saying, and then after about a year and a half of that, me feeling like I've got to get control over this. This is not okay. I started to learn. I started to read some of those books. But before I'd read those books, everybody was showing up and talking to me. There was nothing I learned to do. But what I can tell you is that for you guys, if you're wanting something like that, that can be cultivated. And I'll talk about a little bit about that in a little bit. And other things that have unfolded for me along the way would be, like I would be in a coaching session with someone. I used to do it via Skype. Now almost 100%, 99% of my phone calls are over the phone. I don't usually do a visual anymore. But when I did do Skype, people would physically change, like people change regardless. Like, I guess it doesn't matter whether I was Skyping or not, but I can tell I'm a little nervous because, I have wanted to talk about this for a long time, but I've been afraid to talk about this for a long time, openly on a public platform. I've been very in this nice little safe cocoon with my closest friends and my family and my clients that wanted to talk about this. And so I'm feeling kind of vulnerable. All right. Anyway, so what would happen was I would be coaching these clients and I would start to feel energy on me that I knew wasn't mine. I would start to experience physical symptoms that they were experiencing, some of which I didn't even know. Like I might get a stomach ache or I might get a backache, and I would just all of a sudden, I would say, are you feeling something in your back or your stomach? And they would confirm it without first telling me about it. Does that make sense? Thank you for the hearts, you guys. I can't see the comments right now, but I can see the hearts and it makes me feel better. Anyway, so that was bizarre that I could feel what they were feeling, and they were on the other side of the country, we weren't in the same room. And then by me just moving that energy around intuitively to get rid of it off of me, ended up healing them. And clients would tell me afterwards that they had chronic back pain that I didn't even know about because it didn't even come into the conversation. And then after the session, they were like, oh my God, my back pain is gone. Or one guy in particular that I was doing with Skype, I cleared some energy that was on him that had literally hopped onto me. It was a dark energy, and I transmuted it to light and love and passed it on up to the heavens. Anyway, my stories are so bizarre. Do you guys want to hear my stories? I don't know. I also want to make sure I'm talking about what you guys can do. But anyway, it ended up he had just, this really dark energy on his shoulders. I took it, transmuted it, like I said. And then when I looked up after I was done doing the work, because my eyes were closed the whole time that I had been working on that energy, I looked up and his eye color had changed. And that really freaked me out. And I didn't say anything because I thought, I was so stunned. I guess I'm telling you this to say how it's unfolded for me, because I know I've been getting messages from some of you guys wanting to know how to pursue this on your own. And it's going to be unique for everybody. It's going to be different for everybody on what you're going to do or what might happen, and you are completely in charge, let me tell you. Anyway, so eventually the guy ended up looking in his own camera and he acknowledged that his eye color had changed. And so, I don't know, somehow speaking it out loud to you guys is like got me all nervous again, because it's hard for me to wrap my brain around that. It's hard for me to wrap my brain around the fact that Spirit is using me to heal people's carpal tunnel or migraines or other different pain and things like that. So I don't understand it. I just know it's not me. I just know that they're doing it through me. And the more I allow them to do through me, the more I trust what they want to do, the better things go. And so I, over the last 6 years, have tested and trusted and tested and trusted enough now that when I'm living my life or I'm having sessions with people, I just say, exactly what they want me to say. And everything I'm telling you right now, they channeled this message for me. They're telling me basically where to go with this conversation with you right now. They channeled, you know, kind of some notes for me earlier today about what to cover. And I don't know. I mean, is this helpful for you guys to hear? So, you know, they've shown up in animals for me repetitively. I've had dragonflies do bizarre things, birds do bizarre things, patterns, you know, coming up close to me, you know, hovering around me. I had a series of crows, 3 crows hang out with me for like an hour, follow me through my neighborhood, hover over me, suspending over me. You know, there are a million different ways in which Spirit talks through me, and I know talks through you too. And now I physically, sometimes I see the deceased, sometimes I physically see the angels. It's the majority of the time it's a knowing, where I'll just know they're there, and I will just share whatever they're telling me to share with my clients. I've got things locked down in a way that sorry, I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. My husband just texted me. Thank you. I just have to laugh because it's that kind of thing that Spirit will do for me to help me to chill out and relax a little bit, okay? What was I saying? I was talking about, oh, I don't know. You know, so I've got things locked down now that I don't have people the deceased randomly surprising me anymore. But whenever I'm meeting with clients, it's an open acknowledgement that if the client needs deceased to come through and that would help them, I allow that to happen now. I'm okay with that. And I absolutely, with total joy, will share whatever their messages are. It's the angels, though, they talk to me all day, every day, and spirit guides and everybody. So I'm in a constant dialogue with them, and I love it so much, and I'm reconciled with God, and I don't buy into any particular religion, but I am 100% believe that, you know, I believe in God, I believe in Jesus and Buddha and all of these ascended masters, and I talk with them, and I talk with anybody who wants to come through. I talk with the angels that Anthony talks about. And, you know, it's not that I always hear a message in response, but in the beginning when I first was doing this, but now I do. I regularly have conversations with them, and it's pretty awesome. I feel really, really grateful because when the angels and when I'm meeting with clients and my spirit team, I just always tell my spirit team, I ask them, I say, please, you know, go talk with this new this client that I'm going to meet with, talk with their spirit team, tell me what they need to hear so they can be about the purpose for which they came to me for. And so, you know, they do. And clients will tell me, I tell them things that I shouldn't know. I don't know them personally. The deceased will come through and they'll just tell me things that I don't know about them, but it's exactly what the client needs to hear. And I feel like for the longest time I wanted to own this publicly because all these rapid change. I mean, I got to update my website, but if you go to my website, read my testimonials, there's some amazing things happening there, and with the speed in which people are changing. And I really truly believe it's because the other side and my higher self they're all communicating for me and telling me what to say, and things just go really, really fast then. So, you know, anyway, you know, and the biggest reason I wanted to get on here was, actually, before I go on to that point, I wanted to cover a couple other questions I got from you guys. Some of you asked me, I'm just going to refer to them as spirit team, which means spirit, ancestors, the deceased, ascended masters, everybody. we all have a spirit team of collected entities that I just described. It's unique to each of you. Okay, hang on. I gotta text my husband and tell him I'm on live with you guys. I feel so silly. Yes, get Gigi potatoes. She wants potatoes. I'm on Insta Live. Okay. All right, guys. Hopefully we will be. I'll see if I can put it on Do Not Disturb. I can't. I don't know. Okay. Okay. Anyway, you guys asked me about supplements. Does Spirit tell me supplements? My team does talk to me about supplements for my daughter and I, but I do not rely on it yet, and that's why because I'm still building up my trust with that, and that's why when you guys come to me and ask me if I can help you with supplements, it's because I care so much about you guys, and I don't have a trust level with myself yet about that. So and with my connection with Spirit on that, I am still testing that arena out. So I'm not going to recommend supplements because I'm just now starting to trust in what they're telling me, which might sound a little bit weird, but it'll make sense because in a minute, because what I'm going to do now, we're going to talk about you guys. We're going to talk about your relationship with Spirit, your ancestors, the angels. You guys all have a spirit team of a minimum of 3 guardian angels or spirit guides. And those spirit guides can be a combination of ancestors that have really ascended, have been up there a long time, meaning they have really shed the layers of the earthly world and they're in a total pure form. So they can really be there without any ego tripping at all. And this is my experience. I have worked with hundreds of souls now. Hundreds that have been validated over the last 6 years, which is, it's a lot in a short amount of time, all this happening. It's not usual that happens like that. But what I can tell you is that they're all anybody who's surrounding you is there to build you up and to support you and to be with you in a constant state of perfect love. And it's a really beautiful thing. And here's where we get to the trust component I wanted to talk about too, is that I know a lot of you guys are getting a lot of symbols. A lot of you guys are seeing sort of like patterns, and you might be seeing repetitive numbers or seeing dragonflies or hawks or butterflies or feathers, or you might have electricity flickering, or you might just sense that something's coming over you, or get a thought or feeling or have a dream. I mean, there's so many ways in which these guys talk to us. And, it's easy to want to get back in your head about it and be like, I don't know if this is for real or not. Is it just all in my mind? And yet I know you want to be able to believe in it. At least I did. And so I want to first tell you about their perspective about you. It is, okay, if any of you guys, I want you to think of anything you've ever loved. Like if you're a parent, you think of the love you have for your child. And then I want you to, or if you have someone you're in love with, or think of the thing you love the most in the world. And then you're going to take that and you are going to multiply it times 100 million trillion times. The love they have for you is so perfect. It is, here on earth, we're like always longing for love. We're always longing for, we wish things were, we feel the frustrations of this earth. We feel the frustrations of, things being imperfect. And not that we're all sitting and settling for that, or, you know, but what I mean is we're longing. We're longing for a perfect love. We're looking for it. We're wanting it. We desire it. We hunger for it. We read about it. We watch, there's novels, there's movies. I mean, it's an obsessive thing for us. And what I'm wanting you to know is you have a team of angels and spirit guides around you that feel that way about you. They look at you with a perfect devotion, and they're infusing that into you all the time. And they do it with absolute joy. And the thing that brings me to tears right now is the fact that you guys maybe haven't experienced that. Like I would love to, I've been thinking about maybe doing a meditation that will take you through their perspective. But I know how separated we feel from that love, because that's part of being here on earth. But when they take me into their world, when I'm channeling, it is such a perfection, and I want you guys to be able to experience that. I gotta keep an eye on the time because I do want to give you guys some practicals. So, but before I get to the practicals, I want to help you to understand that, you know, when you guys feel like you've messed up at something, we have to go there before I can get you to the angel's perspective. Here we feel like we made mistakes, or, oh, why did I do that? Oh, I'm feeling guilty about it. Oh, you know, I said that thing. Why did I have to? Why did I do that? You know, we just, anything that we feel bad about, or we might feel like we failed in some area of our lives. Or if you're healing from chronic illness, I don't know about you guys, but me healing from my eczema and all the things that I've been working on, there's a huge amount of time that I spent just feeling like I had failed my body, or my body had failed me, like failure, just this sense of failure, okay? So if you guys can relate to that, show me some hearts, not because you love failure, but because you felt the burden of making a mistake, basically. And the reason it's important that thank you guys for the hearts. Okay, I want to know that you guys are thinking about that, because here's what you need to know. It's really, really important. Is that when you have been in your any moment like that, not just your lowest moments, but in any moment like that, do you know what your spirit team sees? It just makes me so verklempt. They see how amazing you are. They look at, it's so funny, I'm emotional about this because I'm not emotional about this anymore. But talking with you guys, I don't know if I'm feeling you guys or what, but anyway, they love you so much at those times when you are feeling those mistakes or regrets or anything. What they're seeing in you is how proud they are of you for how hard you're trying. They're so proud of the courage that you're exhibiting in that situation. If you lost your temper, I used to lose my temper all the time. You know what they saw was how hard I was trying to overcome the situation I was in. This is how they see you. It's like seeing a toddler learn to walk, or an infant trying to learn to walk for the first time. They make mistakes over and over and over. They fall on their little hiney an endless amount of times. But us as the adult looking on, we don't look at them in judgment and feel like they're failing. We look at them as like, wow, look how hard they're trying. There they go again. Fell down, that little baby fell down. But that baby's getting right back up to try again. This is how your spirit guides and guardian angels feel about you. So those times when you're beating yourself up and being hard on yourself for whatever reason, they are just trying to pull away all that need of you to feel like you have to be hard on yourself. And they want you to instead understand the love, how impressed they are with you, how proud they are of how hard you're working, whether you're being patient, courageous, creative, whether you're being vulnerable, taking a risk. Every time we feel a sense of like we've made a mistake or we've let ourselves down, behind that thing is an intent that we had, that we were trying to work something out. And at the very, very root level, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to work something out. And that's what your angels and spirit guides and guardian angels and the other side of 100% pure light and love, that's what they see. And they're so impressed and so proud of you. And I think I come to tears talking about this because of just so many clients that I've worked with, and knowing how hard people can be on themselves from the point of view of that being my profession, and then just wanting, and then they show me through their ancestors coming through and saying these things, or sending messages, or their angels saying things that there's no way I could know, just to get through to them to say, look, we really want you to know we just love you. We love you. We love you a million trillion times more than your children. You love your children or your spouse or your partner or your dog or your cat or your chickens or your parents or whoever it might be, or yourself. Their love is perfect and infinite. And I want you guys to know that, so that you can also know you're not alone. You're not alone. You are so not alone. You've got an army of people. At a minimum, you have 5 guys devoted to you on your spirit team all the time. Then you bring in your ancestors, which, whether or not you are an orphan, you have ancestors, because we all came from somebody. And somewhere along the line, they are looking out for you and they are taking care of you. They are on your side, advocating for you all the time. Okay, wow, that was a lot. Okay, so let's get to some practicals. Let's talk about some practicals of communicating with them. First of all, I know it's a temptation when it comes to start to trusting. I'm going to talk to those of you who are receiving messages and you're not sure if they're messages. They are messages. You don't need to question it. I know it's easy to question it, but start to keep track of them. Maybe write them down in a little journal. The thing is we want to attach a meaning to whatever symbols we're seeing. And someone I was talking with today, she said, well, I think when I see hawks, it means, I forgot what she said, but she actually used like 2 words to describe what she thought it meant. And I didn't have time to get back to her, but I thought, yeah, she's 100% right. That's exactly what it means. But sometimes, so the first thought that comes in your mind, like if you think you see a butterfly and it's your deceased mother, it's your deceased mother, because that thought popping in your head when you see that symbol is not an accident. It is not an accident. And it may take a little bit of time for you to trust it, but here's what I'm asking you to do. If you like, this is a tip, so you guys want to write this down. If you guys like the symbols or the thoughts that are popping in your head, or whatever your unique experience is, be it animal, your thoughts, your dreams, numbers, whatever. If you like it, then use this phrase. Thank you, universe. I'll take more. If you're my client, you're using that phrase, because that's we cover that. Thank you, universe. I will take more. Okay? And immediately that tells the universe that you like getting that symbol. You like that connection. A second tip is to allow that message in and to say, I believe that's my deceased mother talking to me. I'm okay with that. Please talk to me some more. And then see what happens. See if the butterfly returns over and over and over again. Look, you guys, when I talk to you, have almost always already put the pieces together of why the symbols are there or what they're communicating. But sometimes we can get preoccupied by thinking there must be some bigger, deeper life message. I totally got wrapped up in that in the beginning. 6 years ago, I thought, oh my God, spirits are talking to me and the deceased, and what does this mean for my life? You know what it means? I still need to go do the dishes. I'm still just who I am. It's a form of communication with the other side. It doesn't have to mean anything more than that. As if you like these experiences, then tell the universe you like them and you'll take more. And more will come eventually over time. And it will be completely and totally unique to you. Just like the way it unfolded for me was completely and totally unique for me. I haven't met anybody who had Spirit walk into their lives the way Spirit walked into my life. You're not going to find anybody who's going to have it exactly like you. And they want, your spirit guides and guardian angels, they want you to trust what's coming through. They want you to be able, they want to build a relationship of trust with you. So, you know, that begins by you taking a risk of being willing to trust that you really deep down do know what that message is. It just might feel a little bit scary to admit it. And now the third tip, for those of you who are wanting to cultivate a relationship that's more, let's say you're not getting any symbols or any messages, but you really wish you were. Start by telling the universe and your spirit team. So your spirit team and the universe loves you so much, they are not going to force their will upon you. So, and this is the fundamental way that I got the deceased to follow my guidelines of my life, is what I'm going to tell you now, is that you are totally in charge, but you have to communicate what you want, which means ask for the things that you want. So if you want more symbols, talk to your spirit team, and you just call them that. You say, hey, spirit team, I don't know who you are. Sarah told me you're there, and they'll know, because they're all communicating. They all know each other's everything. And, you know, she said to ask, and you just ask them, say, I would like to be able to connect with blah, 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 blah. I would like some symbols or messages or from, you know, Joe, my great uncle. I don't know, you know, and tell them to say, I would really appreciate it. And then your spirit guides, your spirit team's gonna be like, oh, she wants this? Okay. But, you know, repeat the asking. It's like any relationship here on earth, right? The more you want something, the more you're going to talk about it with someone. The more interested you are, right? The more you're going to ask someone to help you out. You know, if you need help personally, you actually ask someone for help. Or if you don't, you know, you maybe wish you were. But in order to get the help we need from someone else, we literally have to open our mouths and ask and say, please help me. And then they know. Then the other human being knows, oh, she would like some help, or he would like some help. And they can respond then. Well, the only difference between that humans and your spirit team is that your spirit team knows what you want already. They know all your thoughts, the good and the bad. So that's why, you know, just don't feel like you need to hide a conversation from them. Just have one with them, because they already know everything you're thinking. And they're already super proud of you and already love you and adore you and think you're the best thing that's ever happened in the entire universe. So, you know, they're just sitting there waiting for you to ask them for help, because humans have free will, and they will not impose their will upon you. Instead, they are going to wait to find out from you what it is that you really want, that you're consciously aware of in this moment. And when you tell them, hey, I would really like this, and be sure and ask, would you guys please help me to have this? I give you permission, use that, I give you guys permission to bring this into my life. I want this. And you know, they're gonna hear you. And if you like, you know, be repetitive about it, but I mean, don't be weird about it. I was so weird about it in the beginning. What do I mean by weird? You don't have to say it all day, every day. Just, you know, like you would be talking to a friend. That kind of frequency is fine. You know, okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. There's so many aspects to this I could talk about. Okay, but I think, I'm going to check in and see if okay, no, that's it. That's it. That's all they wanted me to cover with you. So I'm going to read your comments while I have a little date. Let's see. Hey, guys. Oh, my gosh. Wow. So awesome to have all you on here. Okay. You guys have any questions? I'm going to see if there are any questions. Oh, thank you. Oh, I love you too. Samantha, Tiffany, thank you. Oh, you love listening to my stories? Boy, I got a boatload of them. Okay. Do my spirit guides and guardian angels help with our family's health? Absolutely. And they do with yours too. You just got to talk to them and ask them for help. I move energy, you know, through my own body. I move energy for my daughter using my spirit team. I've not had any training. I haven't read any books about it. I just do it. It just kind of happened one day. But in terms of prayers, I pray big time to the angels, especially all the ones that Anthony lists out in his books. Good heavens. They're like on my speed dial. And yes, they do help, especially, like I noticed, especially recently, I've been asking a lot for the help of the angel of trust to help me to trust things like what I'm hearing about supplements, or even talking to you guys on such a public platform. And, you know, I'll feel the angel of trust calm me down or bring me peace or things like that. So really, I would also recommend you just start praying to the angels and asking for help, and ask your spirit team for help. And here, I'm going to give you a phrase to use, okay? And an action to take is that you want to say, I want you to use words, like literally speak what you want, even if it's a whisper. Anthony mentioned that a long time ago, and I think it's a fantastic thing to do because it'll cut through all the mental kind of garble that you've got going in. You've got a lot going on in your mind, you know? And so when you actually speak it out loud, the angels are going to hear it really, really fast. And they're going to be able to get right to helping you right away. And you've got to also understand, trust their divine timing. They know, and they're working on you in ways sometimes you're not going to see right away. And that can be frustrating, but trust that they are hearing you. But anyway, so the practice I was trying to say was, so speak your prayer, ask, and you have to ask for help. Give them permission to help you. And thirdly, actually do this one first. Tell them, I only want spirit guides, guardian angels, whoever you're calling upon, that are of 100% pure love and light. Use that phrase in everything you do. 100% pure love and light, angels. 100% pure love and light, spirit guides, ancestors, da-da-da-da. And that way you can always be confident in whatever energies come through are in your highest good. Let's see. You guys have any other questions? Oh, it's so great to see all you guys. Sarah, your spirit is so beautiful and pure. Thank you for doing this for us. Oh, Genelum 1026, thank you. See, it makes me giggle. I've felt that for sure, especially being a mom and having chronic illness. I'm assuming that has to do with feeling like a failure times. Oh, you're going to make me cry. Oh man, you're crying now. Oh, we're all crying together. Thank you for this. To know this love is always here. It really is, you guys. This gives you strength. Oh, thank you, universe. I'll take more. Thank you, universe. I'll take more. Oh, you guys. Do you ask for healing? Oh, that's a good question. God, I'm welling up. You guys are asking for more. Do I ask for healing? Shit, yeah. I'm not sure I understand. Do they help? Yeah. Oh, you guys, hi. Hi, Sunshine Inside. I'm so grateful you guys are all here. I ask for healing every day. I am totally, and it depends on what I'm needing. I ask for it many, many, many times throughout the day. I mean, my dialogue with my spirit team goes something like this. This has been going on a lot lately. Hey guys, I totally am too tired to want to, and I can't think straight. And all I want to do is go back to bed. So I need you guys to tell me what to do. So I'm just going to take care of me, but you guys tell me, like, should I do my celery juice now, or should I go make the supplements first? Should I, should I, go feed the dog? I mean, I am in dialogue with them all day long about everything, and they do absolutely help and talk to me. Okay, how did you get into this as a business? Was it easy to build a client base without having certified training or anything? Actually, I started coaching long before I was using Spirit. So coaching for me has been word of mouth. I've been all referral based until I've been on Instagram. I mean, I don't know what this platform is. I don't understand it. But I've worked for companies like, I do a lot of corporate work, GoPro. I have clients that are doctors, therapists come to me. This arena of what we're doing here, I rarely ever have had anybody come to me just because they want a channeled message, because I honestly just wasn't telling people about it. I still don't really do that. I mainly work with people who have something that they I work with type A's who are vice presidents that want to become the presidents of companies, or they want, I have a lot of entrepreneurs that come to me, they want to double, triple their income. I do that for them. So I don't know, part of my spirit of who I am, I just was kind of born into this world knowing what people needed to hear, and how to get them through the roadblocks that were holding them back. And I do that whether someone's been through some type of abuse, or whether someone wants to learn to finish a to-do list, or get married, or find love, or get help with parenting, or even with the healing process. I've got clients that I'm helping. I'm not giving them foods and supplements to take, but I'm definitely helping them through the emotional, mental challenge of the healing process. But what I know now, in the last 6 years, Spirit has been a part of all of that, telling me what to say to people, and I've been consciously aware of it. Does that answer your question? Color by Con has said, do you actually hear them speak, or are they all signs? It's like I hear them talking to me right now. So it's like I hear them in my head. It's nothing like what Anthony does. Anthony says there's a person next to him. For me, I never memorize. Every once in a while I'll look up what the empathic definitions are, but I don't know. I just don't care to memorize them. But I know things, but it feels like I'm hearing something too. They show me signs. They will show me, they'll show me but things I don't understand. And then I'll just relay them to my client. My client will be like, oh my God, that means X, Y, and Z. So sometimes I guess it's symbols. Sometimes I have visually seen angels show up and be like, blow off the roof of my house. I've seen angels dancing. I've seen the heavens open up, and like 10,000 angels all surrounding. It's pretty wicked awesome, you guys.